Shai, we've seen the mental toughness of this team and organization for half a decade now since you've been here, and I wonder, what you saw from this group again tonight that was familiar to you of what you guys have built over the course of time.
Yeah, we've been small for like the majority of the time I've been here. It feels like up until we got Chet, we've been small and had to play that way, so it was nothing new for us. And those, I guess, years kind of built a muscle for us and how to play despite the disadvantage. And we wanted to come in tonight and not use that as an excuse. We've been there before. We won games playing small, and we can do it again.
Shai,
Mark.
Go ahead, Joe. No, go ahead, Gallo.
I was just going to say, Mark was talking about how it's easy to say take what the defense gives you, but in practice that's a hard thing to do when you're capable of getting anywhere on the floor that you want to. What's that like? What's that process been like for you to show some restraint in actually truly taking what the defense gives in the best way possible?
Yeah, it's something you fight. Every great player fights, trying to find a balance between when to score, take over, and when to make the right play and get your teammates involved. And it's something that I continue to work on and continue to get better at. Both of them work hand in hand. The better you get at scoring, the more the defense tries to force you to pass, and the better you get at passing, the more the defense tries to force you to score. So it's just trying to be a weapon in both ways. Keep the defense honest at all times is the main focus, and just trying to be aggressive. And no matter what decision I make, being assertive in it.
Shai, I want to ask you about the same thing because Mark was just saying that, if you go back and watch you during your bubble year, that you're a completely different player. And he almost made it sound like, last year even this was something you were not really showing as often as you are now. Just was there...
Sorry, showing what?
Just letting the game come to you. Is that something that happened this summer? Like, is there an inflection point that you could point to where that really started to hit for you?
I don't say this to slight my teammates, but I feel like the end of our season last year in the playoffs, they obviously it was for a lot of them it was the first time in the playoffs and playing games that meaningful. And I don't want to say they weren't ready, but I feel like I could have equipped them better throughout the year in taking shots, getting to spots, and being more comfortable in certain positions on the court, especially offensively. I feel like in the playoffs we were good defensively, and offensively is why we lost. And part of my job is to make sure that my teammates are confident and are ready for big moments. And I think part of that is building a muscle throughout the season with them, and that's something that I've tried to focus on this season for sure. Like all 82 games is very important, obviously, but everyone plays for the big ones at the end of the summer, and trying to get there is the main focus.
And because you mentioned it, the point where you realized that was, the last time you played last season, like how do you go about developing that muscle in the summer and coming ready for the season with that?
It's something just to be aware of. Something that you have to attack head on. It's very easy to get caught up in it's very easy to get caught up in individual performances. But no individual has ever won a championship, and that's my main goal with basketball. So making sure that my teammates are ready for the stage is just as important as making sure that I'm ready for the stage.
And obviously career high 45 tonight. I think there are some people who would be surprised that that's your career high, just considering the level of scorer you are. I just wonder what your thoughts would be on that, and if you could describe just tonight and what that felt like.
It didn't feel special. It didn't feel like I did something I'd never done before. Just felt like another basketball game. I felt like I should have had more, missed some easy shots, But it's the game. You make some, you miss some. On to the next one.
So it's interesting that so many of these questions have been about you taking what the defense gives you, but yet you set a career high. What does, I guess, that say about your ability to flow, and what does it say about your teammates that within the framework of all of that, that you were still able to get 45 points?
Yeah, it goes back to a little bit what I was saying. They go hand in hand. So the more willing I am to make early passes, make early plays for my teammates, the less the defense is willing to commit to me, and the more worried they are about my teammates. And I think I had a pretty good balance tonight of both being aggressive offensively myself and making sure that I was getting off it early when the defense loaded up. Yeah, I think I was clicking tonight for sure in that terms.
You mentioned balance quite a few times tonight. On that, with you taking more threes this year, what's the process of you figuring out when you're going to take a three or when you're going to try and get to the basket when guys are trying to stop you from getting to the basket and want you to take more threes?
A little bit of a feel, the game, the moments, what just happened to play before. A little bit of just being confident, shooting a shot I worked on, and then a little bit of just taking what the defense gives you. I know it sounds redundant, but yeah, just being aggressive and letting the game decide for you.
And then what did you think about you guys' decisiveness on both ends of the floor tonight?
Yeah, we were good tonight. We had spurts, end of the third, a little bit like last 3 minutes of the fourth, where we could have been a little bit better in certain things, especially down low. But we did enough tonight for sure to get a W. We played scrappy defensively. We were relentless offensively, so it was good.
Shai, your team ISOs heavily. Like, guys are really talented. They're able to dribble, pass, and shoot, and you're the head of the snake of that. Like, how do you kind of describe why your team, and specifically your style of basketball, is an effective style of basketball for you and your team?
I think the best shots are created and made through the paint. So like the highest percentage of field goals made is in the paint, and the best percentage of threes made is driving, kick, touching the paint. We have multiple guys on the team that understand that, and I guess that's a little bit of how the team's built. But it's part of our identity. We drive the ball and touch the paint more than any team in the league, and it equips us offensively to be able to get open looks, get to the basket, make the right play from there. But yeah, we understand that it's our strength and it's the most efficient way to score the basketball.
Shai, I was wondering when you said
last one for Shai.
when you said that you realize that you have to kind of equip your teammates better for moments in the playoffs and shots and things like that. Sometimes young players and young stars don't realize that until later in many playoff series. I was wondering what moment did that hit you and why did you feel that way?
When we lost, I thought about why we lost. And obviously there's so many things to nitpick, but that's what I also try to, at the end of the day, I can only control what I can control, and I try to look at it through that lens. And I think that's one of the things I can definitely control through my play on a night-to-night basis. And like you said, a lot of people don't recognize it until it's too late, and I don't want it to be too late. So I try to hit it on the head early.
Thank you, Shai.